Hey there, I'm so happy to see you. You're going to love this workout today. It is a 25-minute total body Tabata workout using just one dumbbell. Grab your dumbbell, grab your water, make sure you have a chair close by that you can put your things on and maybe use for a couple of balancing exercises. I'm going to start us off with a 4-minute Tabata timed warm-up. We're going to end with a cool down and we're going to have a lot of fun in between. All right, so for our warm-up, we don't need anything. Hi, Fiona, you're always right where I want to be. I think she does that on purpose. I'm going to start our timer and we're going to start with some heel taps to the front and a press back with the arms in the back. If you need to give your core a little tap to make sure it's turned on, go ahead and tap your tummy, pull your belly button back towards your spine. Make sure you're squeezing your glutes, okay? And in our 10-second walk in our warm-up, we're just gonna do a little march in place. So the Tabata timing is 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. All right, so now we're gonna do a side step and open up our arms. It's just a good chest opener here. So stepping the toe out to the side, opening up the chest. So like I was saying, we're just gonna march during the rest in our warm-up because we want to start to get our bodies warm. All right, coming into a V step, which is a front step with one foot, step back, front step with the other. If this is not something that's working for you, you can just continue with that march in place. Fiona, I love this dog, but man, she's, she wants to be front and center. Maybe we should start a channel for Fiona. Meditation with Fiona. Okay, now we're gonna do a twist and a push. A twist and a push. So it's a pivot and a push. Make sure that those shoulders stay down. You don't want them creeping up to your ears. All right, back to that march. If you want to go a little faster, you can do like a little jog in place here. We're going to go straight back. I'm going to move to this side into those 4 exercises again. So that front heel tap and the press back with the arms. So squeezing those triceps. We will have a set of tricep work in our workout. So those triceps are the muscles in the top of the backs of the arms. Okay, back to that march or a little quick run on the spot here if that feels good. Get that blood pumping. All right, we're coming back to that side step. This time we're adding an overhead jack. And if it doesn't work to bring your arms overhead, you can just go back to that chest opener. Bring your hands together at center and then open your arms out wide to open up your chest. All right, back to that march. Should be getting nice and warm. And we're going to come into that V step at the bell. So step, step, back, back, forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, back. So as I step my right foot forward first, then it's my left foot that steps back first. So whichever foot is on the inside steps back first. All right, let's do that march. And then we're going to do a twist and a pull this time, like you're pulling a door open. Working into that core, there will be quite a bit of core work in our workout. Well, I think I say this a lot, but every exercise is core work, right? Our core is engaged in every exercise, otherwise we'd be a puddle of goo on the floor. And our core is everything from our butt up to our neck. All right, grab your dumbbell. If you need a little longer, you can hit pause. We're gonna start with a tricep kickback. So I'm gonna hold the dumbbell in my right hand, step my left foot forward, right foot back into sort of a lunge here. And at the bell, I'm gonna just kick back with that right arm. Squeeze. Make sure that core is nice and engaged. Leaning forward a bit. And you can always do this holding on to the chair. Okay, so we're gonna switch sides for the next round. So that nice bend in my right leg, and my right hand is resting on that right leg. Exhaling as I lift, and inhaling as I lower with control. Give your butt a squeeze. Okay, and come back to the right. So my left foot is forward, my right foot is back. Just resting my palm, my left palm on that left thigh. And then you can gaze about, I don't know, 6 feet in front of you. Or if it helps you to balance here, you can gaze a little bit closer, but definitely down in front. Woo, starting to feel my triceps there. All right, so left leg back, right leg forward. Railroad tracks with the feet, not a tightrope. And I'm not opening up to my left-hand side here. My hips and my shoulders are all facing forward. Right side. I think we're halfway there. And if it feels good to bend the back knee, you can bend the back knee. Coming onto the left side, so remember it's the left leg that's back. Fiona, Fiona. My trusty, predictably in the way workout partner. All right, I think we have one more each side. Left leg forward this time. Squeeze your butt. Don't forget about that part of your core. Okay, dumbbell in the left hand, last time. Hopefully you're feeling those triceps. Hopefully they're talking to you. All right, so our next move is going to be a front press, side step, front press. So the dumbbell is at my chest, and the lower you get into that squattish move, the harder it is. We are on in 5 seconds. If you need more of a break, press pause. At the bell we go. Front press, side step, front press, side step, front press. So squeeze your butt. Make sure your belly button is pulled back to your spine, and exhale as you press that dumbbell forward. All right, 10 seconds rest. We're gonna do that all 8 rounds. So press, step, step. Make sure your shoulders aren't creeping up like cheap clip-on earrings. You want to lower them down your back. And again, if you want to sit lower when you walk, work into your butt more. Makes it a little bit harder. You can also stand upright and do it. The front press is awesome. Chest work. So if you didn't want to be down low, you would step, step, press, step, step, press. Depending on what's right for you. I'll leave it up to you to make that decision, since you should know your body best, right? I'm going to offer all of these suggestions. I program the workout, but it's not my body that's on the other side of that screen doing the moves. So your decision, what is right for you. And then make sure that those elbows aren't splaying out, but they're hugging in next to your ribs as you bring the dumbbell back in towards your chest. Oh, my biceps are starting to feel it. My chest is starting to feel it. And we have a bicep move coming up in our next Tabata round. Whew, it's gonna get spicy, friends. So scoop your tailbone under, like someone just goosed you, right? Like somebody just came up behind you and gave you a little love pat and you weren't expecting it, right? Hug your butt in. So that's what you do when you come down into that squat. Fiona. All right, let's see how many rounds we have left, because I completely lost count. 2 more rounds. So I got a new camera, so I usually use my iPad to record, and I have the timer on my phone, but since I got the new camera, I can put the timer on the iPad. It's nice and big where I can see it. So I'm not making those funny squinty faces. All right, 1 more round. And if you need to put the dumbbell down between rounds, you can put it down and then pick it back up at the bell. All right, so for our next Tabata set, we're gonna have 2 different moves that we're alternating on. So we'll do right side and left side. The first move is a lateral raise with a tap out, and this is a perfect place for that chair if you need it. And then the next move is a bicep curl on the same arm with a knee drive. We're on in 3 seconds, so if you need a longer break, you take it. So dumbbell is in my right hand. My left toes are tapping out to the side. And then we'll do the bicep curl and knee drive or march on this same side. And then we'll switch to those 2 exercises on the left. So we're really gonna work one arm and then the other, and having the dumbbell in just one arm really makes us work into our core in order to stabilize. So as I curl, I drive the knee up. And my elbow is pinned into my side here. My palm is facing forward. It's a traditional bicep curl. Okay, same 2 moves on the left. So again, if you need to use that chair, you're gonna lateral raise and tap out to the side. And I like to keep my arm out. It also helps with balance. Okay, and now it's the bicep curl and march on this side. So I'm going to keep that arm out again for balance. And if you really want a challenge, you can bring it behind your head. So this is kind of like a standing crunch here as you bring that knee up and curl, exhale, and then inhale as you lower both with control. And again, this hand, the right hand that's not holding the dumbbell, can be holding a chair. Okay, we're going to repeat that whole thing one more time. So I'm going to start on my right arm, which I know looks left to you because we're facing the camera. And then that tap out. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you hover those left toes rather than tapping them. But that's up to you for that glute medius abduction. It's called abduction when we move our legs or our arms away from each other. All right, back to that bicep curl. You can bring the hand behind the head. You can rest the hand on a chair. So many options here. Really is for everybody. You could even sit in your chair and do this. You sit in your chair, you bring one knee up while you curl the dumbbell. All right, those same two moves on the other side. This workout is flying by. It's true what they say, time flies when you're having fun. And I'm hugging my butt in, but I'm also really bringing my mind to this outer glute. All right, bicep curl, knee drive. Decide where you want that hand, either on your chair, behind your head, out to the side. All right, and that was that set. Shake your arms out. This next set, we just have one move. It's a combo move. We're gonna hold this dumbbell at our chest height. We're gonna squat down like we're sitting in a chair, or maybe you are gonna sit in a chair. We're gonna come up to stand, and we're gonna press the dumbbell, okay? So we're on in 8 seconds. If you need more of a break, you press pause. Otherwise, let's do it. So squat back, make sure your knees stay behind your toes. So when you come down in that squat, you can see your toes. You can see the toe box of your shoes. And then press through your heels, squeeze your butt to stand. And then exhale as you stand and press. So you have 8 rounds of that. I know the first one didn't feel that hard, but by the 8th, it should feel pretty tough. Sit back in that chair. Press. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you press. Oh, I'm going to reclaim my spot. She moved. And if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you start the press up with the dumbbell as soon as you start to stand. And for some of us, it feels better to have our feet a little wider. Toes pointing out towards 11 and 1 o'clock. And then also think about pressing into the pinky edge, so the edge of your foot from the pinky to your heel, to keep your knees tracking out. Because sometimes when our glutes are weak or our hips are weak, our knees start to fall in when we squat, but we want to keep our knees in line with our toes. Not caving in. So another good way to do that is to put one of those mini loop bands just above your knees when you're doing squats. So pressing that dumbbell up overhead works our arms, but it also really helps work our core just a little bit more in the workout as well. And maybe you can get a little bit lower now that we've gone so many rounds of these squats. And if you're feeling like you don't need that 10 seconds rest when the bell rings each time, it's time to step up to a heavier dumbbell. And if you don't have one close by right now, or if you don't have any, it might be time to purchase them. That consistency is paying off. And that would be a nice treat for yourself as a reward for getting stronger, is to continue to get stronger. Let's see, where are we at? 2 more sets. I'm starting to get tired. But we persevere. We must go on. All right, one more round of these. Feeling it right here in the fronts of my shoulders for sure. Really press through your feet, squeeze your butt as you come up. All right, we have one more set, one more Tabata, and then our workout is done. Time is really flying by. We're gonna start with a wood chop. So you bring the dumbbell to your right shoulder, chop down to your left hip, bring it up to your left shoulder, chop down to your right hip. Bring it up to your right shoulder, chop down to your left hip, okay? It's a little bit confusing, but you'll get it. Think about an X, right? So as I chop from that right shoulder to the left hip, come up to the left shoulder, chop down to the right hip, back up to the right. So it's a core move. I have a little bit of a bend in my knees, squeezing my butt, pulling my belly button in and up. Okay, now our next move is a halo. I'm going to start with that dumbbell at chest height. I'm going to bring it back behind my head and then back to chest height, and then I'm going to go around in the opposite direction. If it doesn't work for you to go overhead, you can do this rowing the boat motion here just in front of your body, okay? So that's the other option. And then once you get the hang of it, you can go a little bit faster. Okay, back to those wood choppers. I'm going to start at my left hip this time, and I'm going to chop down towards my right hip, hip, and then back to my right shoulder, down to my left hip, up to my left shoulder, down to my right hip. Right shoulder, left hip, left shoulder, right hip, right shoulder, left hip, left shoulder, right hip, and so on. All right, back to those halos. These are standing core moves here. Don't need to get up and down to work our core. Find a little athletic stance in the knees. And of course, it's working our upper body as we work our core. All right, halfway through there, so I'm going to start back at my right shoulder with my axe, my wood chopper here. Then chop down towards my left hip, bring it up to my left shoulder, chop it to my right hip. Back to my halo. I'm going to start going towards my right this time. So chest height, holding that dumbbell in both hands. And then I'm using my core to stop the dumbbell. All right, back to those chops. I'll start on my left shoulder this time. I'm going to chop down to my right hip. Bring it up to my right shoulder, down to my left hip. Up to my left shoulder, down to my right hip. Up to my right shoulder, down to my left hip. I don't know if the talking helps or makes it harder. So I won't cue anymore. You think about it. Okay, that was our last time doing those chops, but we'll definitely bring those back into a workout in the future. Back to that halo, final round. And if there's anything you would like to see in an upcoming video, please let me know in the comments below. Leave me a little message, say hi. All right, and that should be it. Yes, it was. I'm gonna stop the timer and we're just gonna come in and do a little cool down. Let's just open and close the arms. Feels so good. All right, bring your feet about shoulder width apart, little bend in the knees, bring the arms overhead. We're gonna bring our right hand to our left forearm and stretch up and over to the side. Come back through center, bring the hands down, bring them up and over again. Stretch to the left. Come back to center, we're gonna do a little cross body arms. Let's start with the right, bringing that right arm across your chest. So stretching and holding a stretch when we're already warm and we've worked the muscles is really good for recovery. It helps to lengthen the muscles and it helps to clear the waste, the metabolic waste that our muscles make when we work out. So you don't want to hold a static stretch in a warm-up. You want to hold a static stretch in a cool down. All right, I've stepped my left foot out front. I'm digging my heel in. My right knee is bent, stretching into that left hamstring, and then let's switch it out. This is a good exercise to do in a chair as well. Extend one leg and then the other. All right, friends, it has been such fun working out with you. I will see you back here next Monday. Until then, keep moving, stay safe, and keep smiling.